Hello. Hello. Hi. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you. Yeah. I don't feel so alone now. If you can hear me, can you clap your hands? Oh, yeah. Thank you. I know. I did so great. Thanks. Welcome back. How was the conference so far? Excellent. Yeah. Good. Okay. Thanks, Garrett. Nice watch, Garrett. That's a nice watch. um, okay. So we're entering now our last session. This is our last thing for the day. I know it's sad. It went by so fast. Um, so we have a panel up here, and we have our facilitator, our very own Dr. Lacey Carpelo, Vice President for Student Affairs here at EOU. Thanks, Lacey. Yeah. By the way, she has like the best Skittles in the world. I'm just going to say that right now. Go to our office. And anyway, so Lacey has spent over 15 years as a leader in higher education with experience in overseeing programs that include diversity and inclusion, enrollment services, student department, academic support services, housing, and campus life. Pretty much she's done it all. Lacey has worked at a variety of private and public institutions in Oregon, Alaska, Washington, Colorado, and California. She has a PhD in education and human resources with an emphasis in higher education from Colorado State University, a master's in counseling psychology from the University of Denver, and a bachelor's in psychology from Occidental College. She'll be facilitating this last session, so please give a warm welcome for Lacey and our panel.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So we'll have the panelists. So we're missing Arami, but so these are our fabulous panelists for today. And what our panelists are going to do is they're going to reflect on the conference. They're going to reflect on the learning outcomes and just kind of share some of their knowledge, experience. I've asked them to reflect and talk from their heart. So I know that they'll do that today. So it's really important as a panelist and as people are sharing for everyone to be respectful, to make sure that we're not on our phones. If you need to take notes, that's fabulous. To limit side conversations, because as a panelist, it can get very distracting as you look out to the audience and to see that. So I know everyone will be respectful and enjoy what we have today. So what I'm going to ask is I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. I want them to say their connection to EOU, their name, their connection, what department, major, college, how are they connected to EOU, and then what is the first word that comes to their mind when we say the word inclusion. So, Mike, we'll have you start.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. Okay, my name is Mike Williams, and I am the director for the Student Support Services program here at the university. We are under the umbrella of TRIO, which is a federally funded program, and we do give academic support to students here at the university. As far as my degree, I guess my latest that I'm working on is my doctorate of education in educational leadership. I do have a specialist degree in education from Arkansas State University, and it is in community college administration with an emphasis on community college teaching. As far as let's see, what else we wanted to...
The one word you think of when you say the word inclusion.
When you talk of inclusion, one word, everyone.
We'll just go down the row.
I thought you were going to say mine. I was going to get upset. Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Lotfi. I'm a counselor here at EOU, so I work in the counseling center. As far as the word that I think of when I think of inclusion, was that it? Empathy.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a junior here. I'm an ed major and an anthropology major. I am a trio mentor, and I work for the Multicultural Center. I'm the student union president for the Multicultural Center. The thing I think of when I think of inclusion is respect. And I totally stole her answer. I have it written down, so she read it off my paper, I'm sure. My name's Tanya Lubis. I am from the College of Education. Shout out to Ed. And I have some titles up there. I'm also the director of the Oregon Teacher Pathway Program. Shout out to OTP. And as you all already know, the first word that came to mind for me with inclusion was respect.
And we'll go back to Mike. Yeah, sorry, Mike.
Okay.
So we have two questions. They're not all going to have an opportunity to answer these because we have such a short amount of time. So, Mike, reflect on the day and the time we have shared together. What inspired you today? What challenged you? What surprised you? What, if anything, made you feel a sense of belonging and connection? Now, you don't have to answer all of those, but just reflect on that. Thank you.
When I look at today, first of all, it was great just kind of watching all of the faces coming in. You know, all of the people from early this morning, and even when we're just kind of standing out there and just watching, looking at all the faces of the people who were coming in. And really kind of one of the things that I've really learned is that we do know a lot about diversity, but we have so much more to learn. There is something that is changing every day, and it doesn't matter whether it's the phraseology. It doesn't matter whether it's something, whatever it is, we have to always be constantly learning and willing to learn. One thing that I do know is that the speakers that I got an opportunity to hear today and kind of talk to, and even people that I meet all the time, is that they all are using that word that Adam had there, and it's about empathy. You know, we all have to understand that we have to look at each other, and there is an empathy. There should be an empathy. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me because of my diversity, but I do want you to empathize with whatever that position is. So that's kind of it.
Thank you, Mike. And Jessica was going to answer this as well.
I think what inspired me the most today was just seeing the turnout. I've been kind of in the background of all the work that everybody has put in, and just seeing the passion that all the people that have put into it. The challenges I see was just the issues and how people were going to react to it, and I feel today was successful.
Thank you. So go, Adam. We'll have you. So 1B, there's other parts to it. So one of the learning outcomes for the conference is for students to learn about diversity, equity, and social justice, as well as gain skills that will enable them to be responsible and reflective campus and community leaders, as well as advocates for creating a more inclusive campus community. Do you like how I was able to have you all see that again? Yeah. So in your own words, please describe what it means to be an advocate, and how does one create an inclusive community in the higher education setting?
Okay, that's a lot. So I guess the thing that I was most struck by, or that resonated most with me, was that story that we had in the very beginning about the gardener's tale, you know, with the soil and the different flowers, the pink flowers and the yellow flowers. It's very similar actually to my counseling philosophy. And so I was listening to this as sort of a model for disease, right, or for pathology or whatever, but it's also a model for health at the same time. It's like when you look at it, that analogy, it's like you can see on some level where it is that people struggle with their own growth, right? But it's cool when you see that, you can also see the solutions as well. And so that's really cool, you know, giving people a facilitative environment for growth, and for us to do that in whatever role that we're in here at the university, I think is really important. And that's why I use the word empathy, because empathy really is about meeting people where they're at. It's not necessarily treating people all the same, but giving people what they need sort of in that moment. And it's easier, I think, for me, because I work a lot with people one-on-one. And so I really can work with a person where they're at. But I think we can strive to do that as a university as well. And really work to sort of connect and to understand another person's experience, try to walk with them in their shoes. And so I felt like we got a lot of those messages today. And to me, that's what being a really good advocate is about. It's not necessarily making you think like me as much as it is us understanding each other and coming from a place of respect.
And Tanya?
Thanks. To me, I didn't actually write this down, but for me, being an advocate, especially as a person that's in a position of power at Eastern, as a faculty member, is being available to those that come to me so that they feel comfortable, and then helping them navigate the pathways that they need so that they can be successful, and providing the opportunity for them to tell their own story. It's not my story to tell, but it's their story to tell. But as a person in a position of power, I can help them get to that point where they're heard. So that's really important. And then were we answering the second part of that? And I think how we have an inclusive community is, first of all, checking ourselves. So my students will make fun of me because I say this, but I often say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And then that is so true. If I stop and think about what I'm doing, or someone else checks me, then that helps me continue to develop and work on my own identity. And until I'm comfortable with that, it's hard to help others navigate their identities, and foster an environment of inclusion. I would also say that we have to get past using philosophies and terms such as tolerance, because nobody just wants to be put up with. They want to be valued. And sensitivity. I'm not being sensitive. I should respect you for who you are. It's not about sensitivity. It's about being real and realizing people are people and deserve respect.
Thank you. So we do have time, so if any of the panelists, if you want to respond to question 1 or 1A or 1B, if you didn't have opportunity, you can do so.
Just kind of one other thing that I do want to say, and I'm not sure how the other caucuses went. I hope they went well. But I do want to say that the caucus that I helped facilitate was wonderful. It was a wonderful discussion, at least I believe so. And I would like to and hope that we can have these discussions all year long, not just once a year in February. I mean, it's great to have it that time, but if we can, as a university, find a space and find a time to have these discussions, and I'm not talking about just blocking everyone off. I'm just saying giving people space that they need so that they can, again, use it as a place or a time to have a sense of belonging here at the university. That's what we want. You know, that to me is part of that inclusion piece. And that is, again, that part of that, how do we have, make that a community, you know, at EOU. We do need to have our spaces. We do need to have our times. We need to also come together. So it can be done. People, we can multitask. You know, it's not just an all or nothing, zero-sum game. Just let's get together and work on it like that. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and another thing I would want to add is it came up a lot in the cultural appropriation seminar or workshop, the idea of unfinished business, and so leaving maybe with more questions than answers, or just having a greater awareness of things. And I really liked that. I think oftentimes when we talk about topics that, you know, aren't always happy and fun and, you know, we struggle with, we want to have an answer, or what do I do? Or you walk away feeling like, well, what do I do with all this stuff? But just, I would encourage people, whenever I come away from something like this, I always, you know, encourage people just to be aware of sort of what's going on internally, whatever reactions they may be having, and be okay with, you know, this being maybe the beginning of something as opposed to sort of an ending point.
Okay. Excellent.
Mine would link into the last words too, so, or the final. Yeah.
So we'll go to the final. Yeah. So go to our next question. In your own words, please describe. Oh, look at that. We're good. We're all good. Technology. Yeah. Huh? No. We still have a question. um, if the attendees were to take away one thing, whether it's a message, a skill set, an inspiration from attending the conference today, what do you hope it would be? And this is for all of you. So, Tanya, we'll start with you.
That wasn't on our list. So, but it actually ties into what I was going to say before. Don't stop here. It feels good to have critical conversations amongst like-minded people who come together at a conference. And I refer to it like the summer camp experience. Don't stop here, feel really good, and then do absolutely nothing afterwards. Find those people that you're going to talk with. Join social action. Make the change. Be the change. There's a lot of excellent opportunities to make movement around here. And just sitting back and being complicit isn't the way to go. So don't stop here is my short version of the long answer.
Thank you.
I feel that the one thing you can take from today is, as we all came together and we were exploring knowledge, continue to seek out that knowledge. Continue to want to be the community that we have come together to be, and just explore each other.
Yeah, I felt like I answered this question when I talked about, right, sort of unfinished business and all that, so I'm going to defer to Mike.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, if I have anything that I would like for us to get out of this, it would be, again, continue the conversation and don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. That's the only way that we get out of where we are, is to get uncomfortable. To me, it's just like working out, weightlifting, those things. How do you get stronger? You have to constantly work at it, and you have to not be you have to push yourself past that point where you're comfortable in order to strengthen. And with us doing that, I think as a university, and when we talk about diversity and inclusion, then that's where we can come together and be the strongest university, whether it's on the east side of Oregon or Oregon, period. That's what we got to do, is let's push past our uncomfortability.
Great, thank you. Any other words from the panelists? Do you feel like you said it? Excellent. Let's give a round of applause for our panelists. Fabulous. So I think it was helpful for them to reflect on the day. My hope is that it's opened your mind a little bit and has got you reflecting on the day. So this is a little bit of audience participation right now, but you're going to be talking to your neighbor. So if you could look to your neighbor and share with your neighbor about, what was your insights, what was something that you're going to take away, something that surprised you. So take a moment to share your reflection of today. I don't know that clapping thing. I used to do like all hands on deck and people go, "Arr," like pirates, but I figured I might not be able to get all of you to do that. So thank you for sharing. So before we close out today, we will be taking a group picture. And so we'll ask at the very end we'll have everyone just like scoot in. So make sure we want you to scoot in. You can actually, on the back of the program, you'll see the fabulous picture that was last year. Maybe I'll buy lunch for someone who can find me in that picture. If you find me in that picture, I'll buy you lunch. You just come up to me and show me where I'm at. It's like, where's Lacey? I'm 4'11". That's a little hard. Oh, we can put that down. You can do it later. Okay. Yeah. So as we close out today, today, I think we really need to give appreciation to the team and the students and all those involved with putting this on. So can you please wave, and we're going to give you our appreciation. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So, but also I want to give the appreciation to all of us that are attending, right? We're part of the process. We're part of those conversations. So I want you to high five the person next to you and high five them and say, good job. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're good. What? We love to I didn't get to high five someone. There you go. Awesome. I got to high five someone. Okay. Awesome. Should I go all hands on deck? Oh, you did it. That's awesome. Okay. So I want to thank you for sharing your Saturdays with us. And it's important for you to know that it says a lot about your dedication and your passion for creating an inclusive community. And just the fact that you showed up here today helps make EOU and LeGrand a better place in our community at large. The purpose of today's conference is to develop and grow the community and be reflective leaders, to create advocates for fostering a more inclusive, welcoming community. And I know that we did that today without a doubt. We came together and engaged in honest and difficult dialogues. We expanded our comfort zones, and we developed a deeper awareness of ourselves and others. I think about all that we did today, and I say, wow. And so before we end and do our group photo, I have a few words I want to say. Our panelists touch on it. I know many of the room probably agree with this, is it's vital that our work doesn't end here. And we need to continue to remind ourselves to never underestimate the power of one individual. You can make a difference. How many times have you heard someone say, I care so much, but I'm just me, right? I'm just me, right? You are just you. But that's amazing. That's wonderful. You don't know that day, someone who was having a bad day and you said hi to them, I may have said, hey, Mike, it's good to see you today. Exactly, right? I didn't know what type of day he had, right? I don't know what he experienced in that morning, but even that moment of kindness and acknowledgement, that makes a difference, right? I made a difference to Mike. You can never, ever doubt the impact you have on those around you. It is valuable, even if you made an impact on that one person, that means something. Because guess what? If Mike was having a bad day, maybe I helped him have a little better day, and he may have seen Adam and said, hey, Adam. He may not, right? Right. So I just want you to remind yourself that there is power in power being an individual. So I'm going to challenge you. So I want to challenge you to not let your conversation fade into a whisper. Don't let the passion you feel today to be extinguished. Keep that with you. Don't retreat back into your comfort zones. That's really important because I hopefully many of you are passionate today. You feel that passion. You feel excited. You learned something new. I know I learned something new. And I want to take that and I want to continue that. I would encourage you, after you leave today, maybe write something that inspired you today on a sticky note and put that up somewhere where you can see it, in your desk, on your closet, on your mirror. You know, you can use white erase markers and write on a mirror and wipe it off later. I encourage you to do that so you can remind yourself of what made you passionate about today. But I do want to end with you with one of my favorite quotes. And this is from South African social rights activist, retired Bishop Desmond Tutu. Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those bits of goods put together that overwhelm the world. So thank you so much. And now get together for a picture.